Hi everyone, I'm Corinne from Sacred Star Tarot, and this is your May 12th Scorpio full moon reading. And in this reading, we're going to we'll start with channeled messages, and then we're going to have a look at the oracle and tarot to help you understand what might be happening for you in this full moon, and also how to work with the energies, because Scorpio can be really intense. Now, the full moon always offers us an opportunity to see what we may not be seeing. So the revealing of something in the subconscious that we haven't been seeing, and in order that we can release it. And this full moon is like that on steroids because it's in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is very much about shadow work, looking at the things in our life that are taboo, or certainly the things that we've kind of put in the shadows because we don't want to acknowledge them, we don't want to see them. There can be things about ourselves or our life that, we find unpleasant. But of course, anything in the shadows is having a really powerful effect on our ability to have change, to get the things that we want. It can cause a lot of disruption and anxiety and stress and disharmony. So uncovering what's in the shadows in this full moon is such an incredibly powerful opportunity for death and rebirth. So that's another thing about Scorpio. It's death, rebirth, and release. Now, the fixed signs will be feeling this the most, which is, of course, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. So I think, look, we're all going to be feeling it, but they're the signs, those fixed signs will be feeling it the most. Now, the calling from Scorpio is really honesty. So this reading is here to give you a bit of an understanding of the energy and what the astrology, what the planets are trying, and the universe is trying to give you a helping hand with. And the more that you're aware of it and work with it, then you can actually take that opportunity and get the absolute best out of it. And that's why I love when we understand what's going on astrologically. It never takes away your free will, because of course, even with this full moon in Scorpio, you have the free will to ignore the shadow and to do the same as what you've always done. Or you have the opportunity, if you have courage and humility sometimes, to actually look at it, look at the shadows. So leading up to the full moon, probably the couple of days before even, if you start getting niggles, or if there's, relationship drama, or there's some challenge that you're experiencing, that is Scorpio full moon revealing something to you. Now, Scorpio is about investigation and, like it's the detective. So the calling is that if something in your world is showing you a problem, and that could be a fight with a partner, it could be a fight with a boss, it could be a power struggle. These are the types of themes. And if that's happening, you can either be defensive and reactive and, have conflict, or you can realize, Scorpio full moon is showing me something. What is in my shadow that's creating this experience? Or what's it bringing up in me? And that's the way, it's the most powerful way that we transform. Unfortunately, as much as I love positive thinking, and that's really, really important, I'm a very positive person of reframing things, the most powerful changes we get is when we look at the shadows. So now Scorpio is giving you and giving all of us this wonderful opportunity to transform our shadows. So that's the key, looking for the experiences, the circumstances that are showing up for you around leading up to this full moon, and then looking being with courage, because it takes courage. I have to admit, the thing with our shadow is we don't want to look at it for a reason. It's usually not very nice. And there might be even things about us that we don't want to acknowledge. But always know that whatever's in the shadow, no matter how horrible it might feel or hard to, how hard it might be to look at it, it is not who you are, for one. It's a program. And two, it's this amazing opportunity for you to be free of it. So that's the advice for this Scorpio energy. Now, let's start with your oracle. And I meditated on the cards, shuffled them, and this was your first card. It's the initiation. Now, that doesn't surprise me at all. That is just Scorpio. This is an initiation. Initiations aren't always easy. It's a rite of passage. It's crossing a threshold. And it's so that ultimately you can end a cycle. That's what the opportunities are. Because when it's healed within you, it ends a cycle. Now, the beauty of this card is that, yes, there's a cave, it's doomy and gloomy, that's the underworld of Scorpio. And we have to go into the underworld sometimes. But you come out of the cave, and you come out of the cave new, which is beautiful. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the second card, which is much more sweet, is deep replenishment. So if you're feeling really emotional around this full moon, I just love that card. I'll let you have a look at it again because it's just so beautiful. Healing, it's, the waters are healing the emotional waters. So if you need to journal, if you need meditation, going for walks, sitting under the full moon, just to bring that, getting into a bit of stillness can really help replenish that intensity of the Scorpio full moon. Now, the other message I'm getting from this is that we're all going to have our shadows kind of come up to the surface a little bit. So if you're finding that your loved ones, friends, family, people are reactive, because not all of us understand that this is what's going on. So we might not all be so conscious and reflect on our own shadows. But we're all going to be feeling a little bit emotionally intense. So if it's possible to, just understand that in other people and give them a little bit of grace around this time. But if you need to go into a little, have some solitude, some quiet time, some stillness is what I'm getting from this card to really replenish and find your balance again, then that will certainly help if it's feeling a little bit intense. But it's this rite of passage. This is, if you're willing to take it, it's an amazing opportunity to break past a cycle or a pattern that you've been experiencing for quite a long time. So that could be, like I was saying, a pattern in a relationship. If you're having the same conflicts in relationships, or you're meeting the same types of people, your partners, and they're not, it's toxic, then this is the time to be able to see it, understand in my shadow what is creating this, or what do I need to understand or change to end this cycle. And that's the calling. So lots of gentleness. She's holding roses. So, the roses are, I'm getting like compassion and understanding, and compassion and understanding with yourself. You've probably been through a heck of a lot in your life. So, of course, there's going to be things in the shadows that are born through hurts and traumas and disappointments and sadnesses. That's where they come from, And so having that absolute compassion and love for yourself, and even your emotions at this time will be really helpful to help you through it as well. Okay, so let's now delve deep into tarot. So we'll call upon the angels, your higher self, our guides, love and light, divine consciousness to clarify this reading for the full moon on the 12th of May. So the full moon in Scorpio. There you go, bottom of the deck, moon. There we go. So we're really in the flow, which is great. Really in tune with this full moon. Okay. So there we go. Can we have more, please? Okay. More, please. More clarity. On this full moon in Scorpio for the collective. So you have the Six of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. Why are they all in reverse? That is what we want to find out. Now, the Six of Wands is very much about feeling appreciated, feeling acknowledged. So for some of you, that'll be, this will bring up issues around not feeling appreciated or acknowledged in your relationships. And yeah, okay. So that can be quite a big theme. Now, of course, with that, the shadow aspect, if that is coming up for you, because when he's upright, this is about having, the crowd is acknowledging him. He's come back from hardships and war and they're praising him, acknowledging it's, for me, this is the card of self-worth. And because it's in reverse, it's telling me that there's a block there, and that might be coming up around this full moon. So if you're feeling that the people around you, don't appreciate you, acknowledge you, value you, of course, the reflection or the inner wound to that is the acknowledgement of yourself. So that might be something to, really delve deep into. So that's a little key for some of you. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse as well. Now, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is, where you're stuck, where you're unable to move forward. And Seven of Pentacles in reverse is, it's my card of like waiting for things that you want and not receiving them. So there's going to be some reflections around, I think a lot of this, the shadow is going to bring up how these are blocked for you. So how your self-worth, your ability to manifest and create what you want and get what you're worth. So a lot of it is around self-worth for the collective. So I would be really looking at what are my relationships showing me? When I'm in a relationship, how am I feeling? Am I feeling worthless? Am I feeling not good enough? Am I feeling undervalued? Is there conflict? And look at the reflection of what might be going on in your shadow will be the key. So for some of you, there will be a few conflicts around relationships. So that could be, that could be definitely a challenge, and disappointments as well. So the other thing the full moon in Scorpio can do is it can bring up past traumas that you think that you've dealt with, but maybe there's just some remnants there. And this is the card of, of loss. So there might be some still feelings of, feeling that you've lost a lot in your life and the grief around that. So if that is the case, the message would be allow yourself to grieve the past, but also on the positive, he realizes, how he gets past this card is he realizes that he's got two full cups there. Nothing's ever lost. And there's so much more available to him. The other message from this card is that, the cups are never spilt. He's learnt so much through that experience. He's gained so much wisdom through the 1 to the 5. And releasing disappointments, because if he stays in that energy, he can see his future that way too. So this might be an opportunity for some of you to release the disappointments And it could be to do with disappointments in relationships that are still, that you're still holding on to, where you've been let down or there's been conflict, so that you can start afresh, either in this relationship or in a new one. Because the thing is we never want to bring our baggage. We can't help it. We're human. We're going to bring some baggage into new relationships, let's face it. But the less baggage, the more we work with our stuff from the past, then we can come into relationships much more conscious. And so this can be an opportunity that to heal some of those past disappointments, past conflicts in relationships, so that you can either enhance your current relationships, you can heal some of the wounds within you, and then your future relationships will be more of what you want without the same pattern. And then you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this is the time to really get in touch with your emotions. So if you're not an emotional person, so if you don't have much water in your chart, now this isn't going to be the case for the water signs, because we're like, oh, can we have less emotion, please? We want to tame down our emotions. But if you don't have a lot of water, or you've had trauma, so you're a bit more disconnected to your emotions, if you can use your emotions in the positive. So if you are feeling even agitated around this full moon for the couple of days leading before or after, it's realizing, okay, I'm getting these emotions, or I'm getting this stirring, or I'm more agitated, or I'm more reactive. What is it about this situation? What is it that's triggered within me? What is it finally time to release? Especially around power dynamics with this full moon. So getting in touch with, your emotions will be really important, because your emotions will give you the key to what's in your shadow. Because of course, they show me the analogy of the iceberg. The iceberg is like the top bit that we see is the tip of the iceberg, and that's what we think about ourselves and our reality. But under the surface is like 90%. There is so much about ourselves that we just don't see. And, the full moons, in particular this one, is going to start bringing those things up that are causing you pain and suffering, so that you can release them, especially around relationships. So using your emotions as a guide. Am I being triggered? What's going on? Okay, what is it bringing up in me? And if you do rituals, the other thing that I'm getting is, around this full moon particularly, if you want to journal, if things are coming up for you and you're like, I'm done with this, you can write it down, light it, burn it, or whatever ritual you want to do, meditation, light a candle. But it's just, it's not the ritual itself, it's your focus, because you've got power, you've got amazing power. So it's your focus and concentration of, this is what I want to release. You don't have to do the ritual, it's just, another way of using your creative power. So you can do that to release the block, release what you want to let go of, release the disappointments, the hurts from the past, the unworthiness, whatever it is that's coming up for you that is ready to be, and death is great because it's final. That's what I love about this full moon. It's, there's no coming back from it, which is great. This has the opportunity to end it. And after death is rebirth. So on the other side of this full moon, if you work with it and you really see it, you're honest, you look at it, you choose to release that pattern and program, or love yourself, or whatever it is that you need to do. On the other side is the rebirth, which is amazing. And we're in the age of Aquarius, we're in the new earth, so this is even more powerful, because all of the astrology, if you've been following the astrology, it's an incredible time. There's so much going on, and we're all going through this massive upgrade and transformation. and raising consciousness. So this is part of it with this full moon. So let's get a bit more clarity. Is there anything else that we need to know for this full moon in Scorpio? Yeah. So some of you will be healing things around your past. So there could be some past, power struggles that maybe are unhealed within you. And that's so that it can end that type of dynamic in relationships. And then you have the six of swords. So for some of you, it will be actually moving on. There'll be things around this full moon that you'll realize that you no longer want. So it's an inner transformation, but it can be an outer transformation with that too, because when we realize something internally, you may need to, or you may want to change, moving away from certain relationships or situations that are causing you pain. Yeah, exactly. So the Eight of Swords. And I think what I'm getting from this is that it's no longer being controlled by your mind and your fears. So it can bring up fears so that they can be released around this full moon. So really incredible potential, and the exact circumstances will be different for everyone. But if you understand what's going on and you, around this full moon, notice what's happening within you, delving deep, understanding it's showing you something, and it's a wonderful opportunity to let something die for a rebirth, then you'll use this energy to its absolute potential, which is beautiful. Now let's get a animal spirit to see which animal can guide you in this. Oh, there we go. Full moon. Okay, so you have higher calling and the lion, and always prepared, and the squirrel. Oh, it's so cute. The squirrel. You are an expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful disposition will bring blessings to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Plan for the future and life will give you all you need. Yeah. So I think this is more like after the full moon. I've started doing the June readings for each zodiac sign, and they're looking so good. So there's a lot to look forward to, a month of really good fortune and good luck coming in June. So, I think this is just getting the debris and things out the way for that to come in. So after the full moon, I think it'll just be feeling a lot lighter. And of course, we're entering Gemini season, so that's going to be a lot lighter. New innovations and new ideas coming in. And with the lion, it's really about, having strength. It's the strength and courage during this full moon. If you have the strength, courage and humility to look at things as they are, then it'll just benefit you so much. And you are a divine being living a human experience. It's time to lighten all the shadows and release them to be free. Lovely. Okay, so that is your reading for this full moon in Scorpio on the 12th of May. I hope that's helped you understand what's going on and get the most out of this full moon. I'm sending you all of my love, light and blessings. Subscribe to never miss a reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye.